So today's video on the channel, I found myself in a w123 280E automatic, and also a beautiful car. It's done about 288,000 Ks. Looks like it's an 84, 85 model, somewhere around there. Which one is it, Miles? Do you know offhand?
I think it was 85.
85. Aircon, and you know, the differences that stand out straight away in comparison to the lesser models is the full wood trim that the 280Es have. It's got the wood trim around the ventilation controls. It's got the wood trim ashtray, which the other one doesn't have, certainly here in South Africa anyway. This one has a Bluetooth radio, a very nice sounding one, I might add. That Bella found on Take It On, I think it was.
Yeah.
But what's nice, it's got a very classic appearance. It's got a classic appearance, but has a really nice sound. And the first thing that stands out for me, again, driving these cars always, getting into a 123, and this one's no different, is the solidity of it. It just feels like such a nice, compliant ride. It's a bumpy road, this old CV road here, where our warehouse is in Abeja, in the Eastern Cape, South Africa. And the sound of the 6-cylinder double overhead cab is something else, eh? Hey?
Very nice.
Beautiful, and it just makes you want to drive fast. Which I'm not going to. Let's have a look here. Just going to take it down to the garage, put some fuel in, and take it for a bit of a run on the open road, then do a quick walk around video on it. This car has been sold, and the owner will be picking it up in the next week or so, I believe. It just feels so nice. And obviously these old, you know, these cars back in the day, you know, you compare it to a Ford XR6 or the performance cars of those days, a Cortina XR6 or an Alpha, and you know it, these things did 200 Ks an hour. That was the top speed, 136 kilowatts if I'm not mistaken. And you know, not far off a BM, certainly a BM 325i, one of those, which was marketed as a performance car. That's fast, and yet it looks, you know, it looks like any other 123 from the outside, indistinguishable other than for the badge. Inside, as I say, you've got a few extras like the wood trim and stuff, but externally you can't tell them apart. That's the beauty. They're so understated, and yet they're real performance cars for the era. 136 kilowatts was a lot, you know. Back then, an XR6, you know, the performance version of the Ford here in South Africa had 100. Let's have a look. Let's listen to that sound. I'm not revving it high. It's 3,500 revs out. Beautiful. Straight 6 makes me want to open the window here. Oh, listen to that. Beautiful. So anyway, let's fill it up. We're coming up to the garage here now. I'll fill it up, put a bit of fuel in, and then we'll take it for a bit of run on CV Road and back to the office. And I'll do a walk around on it. A bit of go-go juice here, and it fires straight up. Let's take it for a bit of a ride back to the office. I can't get over how these things sound, eh? Put on my sunglasses here, going into the sun. And listen here, let me open the window. Beautiful there. I wouldn't even listen to the radio if I drove this car. There's something about a straight 6, and particularly a double overhead cab. And these motors are, you know, it sounds like that, but they really come into their own. I mean, there's more than enough power at low revs, as you can see there. But they really come into their own above sort of 4,500. And then it just, you know, the tone changes, and there's so much power all the way through to the red line at about 6.5. I've had many M110 engines, Mercs at about time w126s, 123s, and yeah, that's one thing that always stands out. Okay, so here we're doing 80. Let's do our test there again. 90, 100, 110, 120. There we go. Pulls really nicely. Actually pulls nicer, or better than the M104 powered wagon we drove the other day, hey Bella?
Yeah, it does.
And I think the difference is just, obviously the torque maybe comes in lower down. The M104s are very high revving. But look at this, beautiful. I mean, I'm doing 120 here, it's effortless, it's revving at 3,500 revs. Feels very stable, even though it's fairly windy outside here. Make sure this guy doesn't cut in front of us. Temperature is exactly where it should be, just above 80 degrees. The thermostat's set it should have an 87 degree thermostat on, so it should always run about there. You can see here, this car go past here. Really nice on the open road. What a beautiful cruising car. And plenty of power in reserve. I mean, without kicking down, it just pulls. Look at that. So if I'm doing 100, it pulls really nicely actually. And once again, with the 123, the sound insulation is very good for the age. I mean, this is a 40-year-old car. It's very windy outside here in P today, and yet we're not really picking that up any more than I would in 2014 Volvo. It sounds the same as this in this sort of wind. Wouldn't sound as cool though in the exhaust. That's for sure. Let's have a look here. I'm going to do that once more as we turn up here into Link Road to get back to the warehouse. This truck going slower and slower here.
They're turning too.
Ah, see, they are turning. Okay, doesn't matter. Give them a bit of a gap here. Not going to go fast. I just want to hear that exhaust side. Okay, let's have a listen. Wow, listen to that, eh? That's my problem, eh? If I drive a car like this, I'm just going to use so much fuel because I'm going to cane it the whole time. Really, really nice. And the nice thing about 280s as well, being the top of the range of the 123, they all have leather interior. You obviously have that additional wood trim, aircon, fully spec'd with cruise control and central locking and all that sort of stuff. And here in South Africa, they have the latest style lights, which you'll see when I do the walk around. They didn't have the others, the 230s, the 4-cylinders and the diesels didn't have them. They had the earlier lights that had the round elements. They kept them right through until they stopped production here in South Africa in 1986. Bear in mind that the 124 was only launched here in 86, so we had 123s that were built. We obviously produced them here in South Africa. They were built right through until 86, the last in the world. And the South African built ones came with different suspension. They came with additional protection underneath, like underneath the sump guard. It's a very heavy duty steel sump guard plate that the European models didn't have. So a couple of differences there. As we pull up to the warehouse here, I'll go and park it and I'll take a walk around and show you what it looks like. Fuel trip. We're going to put some fuel in the car. So what Bella's been doing while we're waiting for the new owner to arrive is been driving it once a week, taking it for a 10k drive just to get it going and keep it going nicely, of course. So it needs a wash and pay attention to that. But I just want to take a quick walk around. And basically what I was saying is, from the externally, they're indistinguishable from the other 123s, with the exception of the headlights in South Africa. So the 280 was the only model that came with these headlights throughout its model life. So from 77 right through to 86 here in South Africa, they had these headlights. The 200, 230Es, the diesels, they all had the ones with the round elements that you see in our other videos. So other than that, that is the one distinguishing feature of the 280E here in South Africa. I have popped the bonnet, that's why it's a bit open there. Let's just pull this here and open it up. behold the beauty of the M110 double overhead cam engine. As rugged as they come, these engines also do huge mileages. I've had a 114. I remember I had a 114 that must have done, without exaggerating, close to 1 million kilometers. And there was a bit of blow-by and stuff, and I bought it from an old timer who had not done any work on it for years and years, and he kept a little yogurt container here, and he had the oil breather pipe, bearing in mind it had done close to 1 million Ks. He had the breather pipe going into the yogurt container, and at the end of every day, at the end of every trip, he'd take that oil that had burnt off and pour it back into the engine, and that's how he rolled with this car, and it just kept on going. It was a daily drive. So really, really robust engines, very smooth, as you can hear, and a beautiful sound. It's got an old York air compressor, this, and that alone is like 4 or 5 kilowatts, I think. Times have changed. But from the front back, no difference. Look at the hubcaps. This car's got very nice mud flaps as well. There's an option here. And the dual exhaust, that's the other tool. So it was only the 280E that had it. But if we look inside, so you've obviously seen the wood trim and stuff, gives you an idea. Leather seats, obviously aged, but we elected to leave them like that. Very nice dash. Once again, the door pockets, electric windows front and back. But, you know, Mercedes in the era, and even it went into the pre-facelift 124s, the pre-multi-valve 124s had exactly the same thing. It was superfluous to have an electric mirror adjustment for the driver's side. 126s as well, 500 SE, 560 SEL. It's got a manually adjustable driver's mirror. And why not? I mean, you're sitting right here. Whether you reach down here to move a switch or use your right hand to move that, there's no difference. And the electric right mirror only came with the facelift, the multi-valve 124s and the C-classes. Prior to that, none of them had. But yeah, really, really nice car, 280E. And consumption, look, they're a little bit more than the 4 cylinders, but the payoff is it's the top of the range. It runs really well, ample power, at 200 kilometer an hour top speed, and 0 to 100 in around 8 seconds, which is very good in the day. If you have any questions, or if you're ever thinking of getting one of these, put a comment up and I'll respond to it. And if you enjoy the channel, please subscribe. A lot more videos coming up. And if you have any suggestions of videos you'd like to see, you know we do Mercedes spares here, and if you want more tutorials or something like that, just let me know. And spares, another thing, spares freely available for these, as with all 123s. So really a nice buy if you're looking at one. I'd highly suggest it. Great car. I was already thinking driving this now. I wonder how I can pry it out of the new owner's hands. Thanks for watching.